Good afternoon and welcome back to Exploring Women Artists. My name is Maritza and today we're going to learn a little bit about Bridget Riley. So Bridget Riley was born in London in 1931 and she is really famous for her op art paintings. And op art is an art movement that uses a lot of optical illusions. I'm sure many of you have seen optical illusions. An example is an elephant with what should be 4 legs, but it's really like 6 or 8. The point of optical illusions is that it plays tricks on your eyes. And so a lot of Bridget Riley's paintings are part of the op art movement, and she uses a lot of optical illusions in her paintings. In the beginning, they were mostly black and white. She would use a lot of lines and geometric shapes to create optical illusions in her work. And optical illusions can trick the eye into seeing movement throughout the paintings, or trick people into seeing depth. So a lot of optical illusions can either be going inward, concaving, or outward. And I printed out a couple of examples of her first art, and I will include a link in the description of this video because I think it's really cool. But this is an example of her art, and if you look closely, if you move it around, especially up and down, it kind of appears like the art is moving. And that is really the point of a lot of her art in the beginning. This is another example. As you can see, what I was talking about with the perception of depth or tricking your eyes into seeing depth. So here the triangle could either be going towards you or away from you, and I think it's really impressive that she uses lines and black and white to convey these tricks on your eyes. And she used mostly black and white until the 1960s when she went to Italy and was inspired by sculptors in Italy. And that's when she started using some more colors and different shapes, and moved away from optical illusions and more into her own style of art. But again, she's really famous for the op art pieces that she made. So for today's art project inspired by Bridget Riley, we're going to be doing our own sort of optical illusion, and we're going to play with the idea of depth. So what you're going to need for the project is a blank piece of paper, you're going to need a pencil, and you're going to need at least 2 markers of different colors. And what you're going to do is, I made an example so that everyone can see, is you are going to trace your hand and create the illusion, or make it look like your hand is being lifted from an otherwise flat surface. So this is my example. I traced my hand, and it appears that your hand is being raised from the surface. So again, that's the idea of depth that I was talking about. So to do this project, you're going to take a blank piece of paper, you're going to grab a pencil, and you're going to trace one of your hands really lightly, like this. And to create this illusion of depth, or the illusion that your hand is being raised from the paper, you're going to need at least 2 different colors. For this one I used 4 just because I thought that would be more fun to switch off. But I'm going to show you how to do this with 2. So I'm going to pick this sort of teal and purple color. And what you're going to do is take one color, and you're going to create a line from the edge of the paper and make a straight line until you reach the outline of your hand. And when you reach the outline of the hand, whether it's your fingers or the back of your palm or the beginning of your wrist, you are going to make a little curve like that, and then straight line like that. So it looks like this. So every time you are within the outline of your hand, you're going to create a curve. So that's what you do for the fingers. So make sure that every time you pass the second side of your finger, the space in between the fingers is still a flat line, because that will create the impression that your fingers are raised, and you want to make it clear that your fingers and the rest of your hand are separate and lifted from the rest of the paper. So I'm also going to show you how to do it with the hand. So you want to make a straight line, and then once you get to the outline of your hand, you want to make a big curve until you get to the other side of the outline and make a straight line. So the reason why you need at least 2 different colors is because you're going to alternate the markers, and you're going to line them up really close and pair them like this. So you're going to go straight across, another curve like that, and I'm going to do another one up here to show you again. And once you do that and fill up the entire paper, it's gonna look something like this. And I think it's really cool that you can create this illusion of the hand coming out of the paper using just like 4 different markers and a light tracing of your hand. And you don't even need to outline the hand at all. It just, you can see where the hand is raised from the paper because of the way you do the curves with the markers. So again, you're gonna wanna do the arches throughout the fingers and the hand. Within the outline of the hand, you want all the lines you draw to be arches or curves, and you're gonna fill the entire paper, and it's going to create the illusion of a hand raised from the paper, which I think looks really cool. I really had a lot of fun doing it. And when you are finished, you can go back with the right colors and fill in any white spaces. I know that I did that when I was finished. And hang it up and keep it in your room and show your friends and your family and tell them about Bridget Riley. I also hope that if you do this project, you share with us. You can use #LoveArtSphereInc on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Again, there will be a link about Bridget Riley and some examples of her art in the description of this video, and a blog post will be published to ArtSphere Inc.'s website, so you can check that out and leave a reply or share your work there. Otherwise, thank you guys so much. I hope that you had a good time watching, and I hope you enjoy the project. And tune in on Wednesday for the next Exploring Women Artists class at 1:30. Thank you guys. Have a really great weekend.